I get a lot of messages asking me for advice, and so I'm going to read off one of those DMs now. I'm talking to a guy for a few months, and we've mostly had a smooth ride. Our disagreements stem mostly from some of his past trauma and things that have been done to him in past relationships, cheating, lying, etc. And this surfaces a lot of insecurities in him, although I've never given him reason to doubt me. We've gotten our families involved recently and are talking about marriage and long term commitment. However, he is adamant on some of his boundaries. Social media seems to be a big issue for him. He wants both of us to delete the opposite gender from our followers and following. He's willing to provide the same level of transparency and commitment. At first, I didn't feel like it's a bad thing he's asking for because Islamically it makes sense. But I'm getting worried if this is a borderline control issue and if it will keep growing from one thing to another, and nothing I do will ever be enough. Do you think his requirements are justified or a red flag? Please give some advice. I asked, can you give me some examples of your disagreements? She said, the disagreements were things that were initially different for us, but I did agree to adjust. For example, the way I dress. I don't wear hijab and dress semi modest. He wanted me to tweak a little bit more. He also wanted me to be more mindful in gatherings, avoid social events that are not mandatory or work related, then the social media opposite gender following thing. Some of these people are family and friends, kids I grew up with, so initially I did give a bit of pushback. But then I agreed because I knew that he had been in a situation before where someone he was with was seeking external validation through social media constantly. He was also pushing to have my location for safety reasons, and I told him it wasn't necessary since we live in different states. So, how would he even do anything about that? I also felt like it was too soon, and we aren't married, and it felt a bit invasive. I could be wrong, and maybe it's his way of having peace of mind, but we would go back and forth about how this might be stemming from trust issues. He has been divorced in the past. It was a nikah, and they didn't get to the live together stage. We have met a handful of times. He is a wonderful person. I feel safe and comfortable and happy. My intuition is not picking up on any danger or red flags, and I'm moving forward leaning in on that discernment. I said, a last question. So he was following women as well and agreed to unfollow also? She said, yes, he absolutely agreed to provide all the same things he was asking for. His explanation was to start his new chapter without outside noise, distractions, and devotion to the relationship. Also, I just want to add that we mutually decided to keep his divorce between us and not share it with my family for respect and privacy. I'm close to my family and feel like I'm hiding things, but we are hesitant because it will make things harder with parents. It's the usual use religion to try and dupe and control your partner. And here is my response. Okay, I have to say, it's actually impressive how every subsequent thing you had to say was a new red flag. I'm not being dramatic when I say this, but this behavior forebodes a very difficult life for you. Please don't go through with it, and I don't say this lightly. 4 months in, and you've had this many instances of his mistrust. If he has trauma from a past relationship, he needs to go to therapy, not take it out on his next wife. And seeing the way this guy is, who knows if this was all a figment of his imagination and he projected it onto his previous partner. You said he's willing to also delete members of the opposite gender from social media. You know what? I don't think that's a good thing. If this were a real value for him, he wouldn't have had female followers at all, ever. Now he's just using it as leverage to get you to do what he wants and framing it as a mutual decision. Also, compromising a relationship is one thing, but it seems he has something to say about absolutely everything: how you dress, who you interact with, where you go, and the location thing. I just. And the fact that he doesn't want to disclose his previous marriage to your family is frankly unacceptable and insane. And I don't care that you agree to this mutually. This is only beneficial to him and keeps your family, the ones who are supposed to be looking out for you, deliberately in the dark so they don't ask more questions. And you should be wondering why he doesn't want anyone questioning his past. To get a feel for his true colors, insist on not complying or budging with his requests and see how he reacts. I don't think it'll be pretty. By the way, you said your intuition is telling you to move forward, but is it really? Why would you be messaging me if you felt okay about all of this? Please, please don't go through with this.